This is Peer Teach Problem A, Lesson 6.3. As you coach your classmate through the problem, make your classmate work for the answer, force them to finger track and read out loud, ask leading questions such as, what do you know about this shape? Guide the conversation, do not simply give answers. Now let's work through what you have so you understand it. The rectangle below, stop right there before you do anything else. Ask yourself, what do you know about rectangles? And start marking it on the diagram. Do this instantly before anything else. We know that rectangles have 4 right angles. We know that it's a parallelogram, so opposite sides are equal. We know that one diagonal bisects the other, but we also know that the diagonals are equal, such as RT is equal to SU, which means all 4 segments are equal as well. These are some things we know about rectangles. Ready? Now let's put our given information on the diagram. R to V, so this from here to that point is 4x plus 5. We know R all the way to T. Is 5x plus 22. And we know that the measure of angle VRS, start at V, go to R, and go to S, is 60 degrees. Your job is to find all possible segment lengths, side lengths, and angle measures. Let's start with the simple things. We're going to start by solving for x, but first we're going to make a thing equation. Ask yourself, what is the relationship between R to V and R to T? Let's make a thing equation and ask your classmate this. Be very careful. Do not let them simply say that they're equal. Make them physically trace it. Because if you physically trace this, you can see that R to V is literally half the length of R to T. So here's your thing equation. It takes 2 RVs to make 1 RT. This is called a thing equation, which you should do prior to numbers. You do things before you talk about numbers. Ready? Now we can circle, plug, chug. So we have 2 of 4x plus 5 equals R to T, which we've already figured out is 5x plus 22. You do your algebra as I do mine. Let's check our work at the end and let's see if we're correct. Now, don't get all excited when you get your variable, because remember, this is not algebra class, folks. Life does not end with the variable. Instead, we're going to find the segment lengths here. So we are going to go, I'm going to take the short one, which is 4x plus 5 And that's now going to be 4 times 4 plus 5. Fabulous. So we just found right here that that's 21, which makes this 21. Which makes this entire green length to be 42. And then, of course, if you go this way, it's also 21 and 21 as well. Okay, let's work with our angle now. We know that if this is angle 60, we have an isosceles triangle here. In fact, have the person physically trace this triangle and ask them what kind of triangle it is. And they should notice that because the diagonals are equal, we have ourselves an isosceles triangle. So if that's 60 on one side, 2 equal sides, 2 equal angles. That's 60 on the other. Then you have armpits of a Z going on. That's 60 degrees. That's 60 degrees. And then because of the 90, we have ourselves 30 here, 30, 30, all the way around. But wait, you're not done. We can add 60 plus 60. And this goes right here. That's 60, which makes this 120. 120 and 60 degrees. Now it looks like you have found everything. But wait, there's more. Physically trace this right triangle here, folks. Physically trace it. R-U-T. Physically trace it, shade it. Now let's pull that triangle out. In this rectangle, we don't know this long side yet, R to U, we don't know it. Let's call this X. And we do not know this side either, let's call that Y. But we have ourselves a right triangle, and now we're going to solve for X and Y. We can use either the 30 or the 60 degrees. It doesn't matter. I'm going to choose the 30, and we're going to work from there. Let's label. If 60 is the one we're working with, that would make this the opposite, this the adjacent, and this the hypo. To solve for X, it would mean the sine of theta over 1 equals opposite over hypo. And your hypo is 42 degrees. You cross multiply, and we get the fact that X, whatever X is, it's simply going to be the sine of 60 times 42 degrees. Do your math. Now let's round to the 10th place. That's going to be 36.4, approximately 36.4. Same process for y here. We can do, since it's adjacent over hypo, it's going to be cosine. So cosine theta over 1 equals adjacent over hypo. Our adjacent, we don't know, we're calling it y over hypo, which is 42 degrees. Cross multiply, and you see that you're just simply going to times cosine 60 times 42. And we get 21. So take a look up here. We just found that this is 21. And this is going to be 36.4, which you should also recognize as a 30, 60, 90. Let me prove it to you. That's going to be 21 times root 3. So square root of 3 times 21. Oh, looky there. It's 34.4. So you could have also used a 30, 60, 90 in this case, but SOHCAHTOA works in every case.